So I see that you work across multiple chains of HR, multiple functions of human resources. Is there any specific inclination that you have towards any of the specific functions? And how has it altered your way of looking at HR? Maybe we could start from there.
Okay, right. Vivek, if you look at my journey, I started as a business HR, and that is something I do love doing, because I think as a HR professional, it is very important for me to create an impact in the business. End of the day, if I can convert my efforts into final results for the organization I am working for, that is the most important thing. So initial period as business HR, that is where I have learned most of my HR. That was about the first 7-8 years of my career. Then I moved into Center of Excellence role. So I have handled talent management, talent acquisition, rewards, a brief period for talent development and HR operations also. Why I moved to COE when I got the opportunity was to make sure I understand why things are structured in a way it is structured and which is implemented by us. And then again, I have now moved back to business HR. And this was not by default. This was by design. That is how I wanted my career to be. If you look at, these two distinct verticals, Center of Excellence and Business HR. Center of Excellence is about conceptualizing and designing intervention. In COE, we understand what is the problem statement, and at a broad level, we conceptualize that what should be the solution for it, and we design it, wherein business HR is more about, understanding the solution provided, understanding the problem statement specifically from your business, customizing it to fit your business needs, and then executing it. So, I have seen both the sides. So, how it helps me is that when I came back from COE again to business HR for a much larger role, almost handling 10 times of people I have handled before, I now know why certain things needs to be designed in a particular way, right? That as a HR practitioner helps, because I appreciate more. At times in business HR, your job requires a lot of execution. So when I handle my team, if I need to explain to them, they will come back and say, COC, why are we following up if people are not doing it? I know the statutory part of it. I know why it is important from the contract perspective, and I can kind of explain it to them better. Similarly, my COE team also a lot of time comes back to me. In Equitas, I handle the largest business vertical. It is about 70% of the manpower. So my COE team also works very closely because of my exposure before, and if they need to create a solution, they need to understand the business realities, and there my business partnering knowledge helps. So that is where both the things comes together, and it helps me in being more effective in giving business solution as a HR business partner.
I was going through this recent report by PwC, wherein it says that about 68% of CEOs believe that HR is critical to their business strategy. And given the fact that you've mentioned about you worked as a business HR and then you've also worked in the Center of Excellence, how are you bringing both these experiences to ensure that HR is a strategic partner at Equitas Small Finance Bank and HR is at the center of everything that the Small Finance Bank is doing? Could you please throw some light on that?
Sure. 17-18 years in BFSI sector. I'll talk more about my industry because that is the industry I am. If I can put it, I'm born and brought up in this industry. This is about there are two raw materials in this industry: people and money. Right? Money is something my business team gets. People is something we are as good or as bad as our people. And I've seen this journey. How good or bad you are in the market would be determined by what kind of people you have in that market. Right? So that is where HR by itself becomes strategic there, because it's a people-driven business. So anything, I have seen this journey from when I started, profiles coming to us from the business leader saying that, hi, here, take this profile and get this person in. From there, now business leaders coming and discussing what kind of people we require. Right? And post-COVID, I think HR has got the seat on the table very, very firm. So I'll give you some example. I mean, we are discussing about starting couple of new businesses. So before having a discussion with the other national sales manager and all, my business head will come to me and have a discussion. If we are going to start this business, would we get the right people? What are the kind of people we are going to get? Who are the competitor? What would be your challenges? So that is how I mean we play in the strategy, and for that, I mean we need to earn that position. What we need to know, or what we need to do as HR professional is we need to know how business is shaping up. One of the most important competencies, if I can put it like that, for a HR professional is to understand the business you are handling. If you are not understanding that, you are not relevant. Then if you cannot speak to your business guys in the language they understand, I mean, then they will say that you will come give some gyan about global things and you are not going to add value. So that is important, and that is what we as team HR for assets do in Equitas. We make sure each of our team member, we get into business. We are part of all business reviews. A cliched statement to my team is that we get our salary because that last mile person in the business, they go in the market and earn the business for us, right? So we need to understand what he is doing, what is his pain point, and we need to be the facilitator to ensure that he is in the right frame of mind, right space to deliver and bring results. So I think that helps. So I mean, if you talk about especially post-COVID era, I mean, I think most of the HR professional, I mean, you look at, I mean, we play a major role because people are important for business. A business is as good or as bad as its people. So that is where we play a role. I mean, right from getting the right people or elevating the right people, making sure people are positively engaged so that they are giving best and bringing the result. And end of the day, CEO or a business that looks at that, how do they maximize their returns, and that is where HR plays a major role.
Any particular change? Could you tell us maybe 2 or 3 things that have fundamentally altered in the HR function? How they were when you started as an HR professional in the field 17, 18 years back, and today after all of these years, now that you've heading so many functions, what changes have you seen in the last 17, 18 years?
So, I mean, one of the most important thing is, I mean, now business expects you to have that strategic mindset. I mean, across the level, area manager will require the HR BP to sit with him and understand what is the problem he is facing and how to give solution. I think when I started, HR was little transactional. The evolution was beginning. I mean, I gave you an example of hiring. I mean, from giving the profile and saying that get this person on board to I mean, getting into a discussion and saying that what is the kind of resource, what are the kind of resources which will work for the bank or my vertical. I mean, that is one big change. I mean, the expectations from the business is for HR is to be a little more strategic in nature and help them, partner them in growing the business. So that is one big change. Digitalization in a big way, writing resume, I mean, then making your comments, putting it in the thing, to everything happening through the ATS. HR is expected to be much more digital savvy now. You should know how to use the ATS to make sure you reduce the tax for getting people on board. So that is something which is the expectation. And I mean, the other more important thing is that now that people understanding from a if I talk about BFSI sector, I mean, of last 3 years post-COVID, our attritions are very high, right? So now there is a request from business that we cannot lose people. Previously, it used to be HR agenda saying that, oh, I mean, it is part of our KPI. We are trying to put some percentage in your KPI also. Now business is coming. Now my business head says that please put attrition as a KPI for my leaders, because if we are losing 30-40% of our people, we'll not be able to make a sustainable business. So it is important for them to understand each individual so that we don't lose them. So that has now started, that value for human resources has increased, and people have started understanding, appreciating, and accepting that it is people who will make the result. Right. So I think these are the broad level changes I see in terms of expectations from the business and the way we are operating.
Is there anything specific that you think organizations should be doing to bridge this gap wherein they need good people and they're able to retain those good people, but at the same time, good people are also able to find good opportunities? Anything on those lines?
Okay. So I think we talk about career planning. And for us in Equitas, that is one of the most important thing in our talent management strategy. I mean, as an organization, we are, if you look at it, we started as a microfinance organization in 2007, 16 plus years of operations. Equitas believes in, developing leaders from within. If you look at, almost 80% of our businesses have homegrown business leaders, business heads. So that is what we believe in, and that is there. I think succession planning, if you can go and tell your leader that we are there to look after your career, he will not even look out. And that is the philosophy we believe in. It is the core of our talent management strategy overall. So we have been doing it very well at the senior level. There are people who have joined us as sales manager, area manager, and today they are national sales manager or business heads, and there are a lot of stories. We make sure we tell this story during our induction so that people know that we are there, we are looking after their career. So this is at the senior level. Succession planning is very robust for each leader. We look at, for our recruitment also from middle level and up, it is very clear. We don't look out till the time we have completely seen our internal resources and we are confident that we do not have that competency 80% ready with us. If 80% ready individual is there within my business, I will rather take a gamble on him rather than getting a 100% ready person from outside. We have now started doing it at the junior level also. If you talk about my bank, my attrition at a senior level is less than 15%. People don't leave. People who are with Equitas, they know they are part of the family. They will not leave us, and we are very, very secured that way. But we are facing attrition at junior level. So what we have done now at junior level also, from that executive to supervisory level, what we have done, we have launched a program called as Valar. Valar essentially is a Tamil word. We are Chennai-based organization. While we have presence of pan India, it means growth. So as part of the Valar program, what we do is we create a Valar pool. People who are our hypers, we create a pool of them. We train them for taking up. We understand from them. We have career discussion with them. We understand from them what is that they want to do next, and we train them proactively rather than waiting for the opportunity to come, giving them that position and training them. We proactively, my learning team proactively trains them and make sure they are ready for the next role. And whenever there is a supervisory position, we will first dip into Valar pool, understand if somebody is ready to take up that challenge in that geography, they get it, and then only we look outside. So this is a recent thing we have done to make sure that we don't lose out. And while the Valar pool is about 12 to 15% of the overall junior population, but this gives a message to people. Now I have people, when I go for my branch visit, I have a town hall, they say we want to be part of that Valar pool. So this is creating that positive atmosphere, and it is very clear. I'll take another minute and talk about one initiative which is very unique to us. We have an initiative called as Loyalty Competence Exercise, right? What we do is that if somebody has spent a considerable time with us and are good performers, their rating, average rating is at a certain grade and all, I'm not getting into specifics and numbers, sure. Then what we do is during the PMS exercise, we make sure we take those people out, look at which percentile they are in their current grade levels, and if they are at a lower percentile, we do correction and take them to the next level depending on, what has been their average rating, how they have been performing. So this, helps us in bridging that gap between the old and the new. any organization you go, the most evolved organization, the old guy will always have a feeling that, the new guys are taking at a much higher salary. Why am I still sitting here and all? We try and bridge that gap. And that has helped us in arresting attrition to a large extent.
Again, something very interesting that you brought out. You talked about how senior level folks might be comparing their pay scale with the relatively younger lot that has joined in. I want you to spend some time, and if you could help us better understand, has this dynamic become even more apparent with the artificial intelligence coming in? Because initially senior people were only possibly competing with the younger folks, but now younger and senior people are competing with the technology itself. Right. So has that dynamic changed, and is there anything specific that your bank is doing on something to do with artificial intelligence and generational AI?
Believes in going digital, leveraging on the digital to make sure we get competitive advantage. And we understand as a bank that a lot of those competencies probably are not available with us. So this journey last 3 years, again, I know I'm repeating it, post-COVID, it was an eye-opener that sure, digital is the next thing to go. While the physical cannot be ever replaced, but digital is the way to go. So what we decided when we were having a discussion as a leadership team is to first look at what we can build, what we have internally. So we looked at the profiles of our people inside, and whoever had that inclination or had that kind of competency, we kind of went ahead and told them that if you want to get trained, we have something called as professional development plan. So each senior executive, executives across the level, they get a certain amount to go for certifications, for courses and all. We said that you get yourself trained if you are interested, because we need to have this competency with the bank. The other thing is buy. Whatever is not there, we have a distinct buy strategy also, wherein we say that this is a niche skill. We need to have this. So we need to have a differentiated compensation structure, right? So we create a compensation structure which is slightly different from the ones we have in the traditional thing. And we said if we need to pay more here, we will pay more, but we will acquire this talent. So that is how. So we have both build as well as buy model. Part of our accelerated leadership program, digital is something we emphasize on because that's the future we understand. So it is part of our talent management strategy. It is also built in our talent acquisition strategy as well, that if we need to get that talent, we'll go to the market. We are ready to pay premium. We'll get the best person and make sure we sell them the cause that you come with this competency, you will have that niche marcation here, and you would be taken care of because you will help us in building the bank.
And I want to quickly take you back to this Waller pool of people that you just mentioned. I hope I'm getting the name right. So please help me better understand this. So is there anything specific that you're doing on the learning and development front? Something that you're doing on the L&D strategy to cater to all the individuals who are a part of this Waller pool?
Yes. So Vivek, as I mentioned, we have a target role for these people, and basis that we have created smaller pool as well as behavioral. We have what competency is required, what kind of skills as well as behaviors they require to move there, and we have design plans wherein they can be trained on both the parameters to take up the new role so that they are ready to take up that role. So that is how we handle this Waller pool.
Understood. And is there like a skill or a competency mapping also that you would do with maybe an industry standard or maybe a global standard? Is there anything along those lines that you would do to better understand, okay, this is where my people are and this is where I want them to be?
Okay, so Vivek, to that extent, we generally have our Equitas benchmark. We have, for each role, we have created our skill directory. We know what are the skills and competencies required, and we go by that. We don't benchmark because the kind of business we do, we have a niche there, and we know we do it well. The market is also looking at us, so we do not benchmark it with outside. We have our internal thing, and we are happy about it. At least at the junior and middle levels, we are okay with that. At senior level, we have this defined.
And is there like a skill or a competency mapping also that you would do with maybe an industry standard or maybe a global standard? Is there anything along those lines that you would do to better understand, okay, this is where my people are and this is where I want them to be?
Okay, so Vivek, to that extent, we generally have our Equitas benchmarks. We have, for each role, we have created our skill directory. We know what are the skills and competencies required, and we go by that. We don't benchmark because the kind of business we do, we have a niche there, and we know we do it well. The market is also looking at us, so we do not benchmark it with outside. We have our internal thing, and we are happy about it. At least at the junior and middle levels, we are okay with that. At senior level, we have this defined. We have our tie-ups with the leading institutes in the country, and we make sure. People. Again, I'll not get into the names. We have our tie-ups with the leading institutes in the country, and we make sure. People. Again, I'll not get into the names. With the best campuses, B schools. So our MDPs are designed by them. We work there for the Accelerated Leadership Program.
You talked about 17, 18 years in your journey, and then this COVID has been a milestone of sorts in a negative way because a lot of things changed after that. So are there like any HR trends specifically, and I'm leveraging the buzzword these days, is there any HR trend these days that you're really excited about and something that you're doing to bring those trends into Equitas Bank?
Okay, something I'm very excited about now and I'm working on it is generative AI. We are in discussion with some of the players. It is amazing. So first, in the learning space, right? I'm in a discussion with one of the vendors wherein they have shown us a model wherein if I've changed my policy and I give both the policies to them through generative AI, we can create the entire content, right?
Yeah.
We can create all the FAQs, we can create evaluations and all, and that is amazing. Something which probably would have taken us a fortnight or a month now can be done in a matter of 2-3 hours. So that is something very, very exciting. We are trying to acquire that in our learning space so that a lot of time our team spends on curating this content. And we are a retail organization, retail finance organization. Things change, and it is very important that we reach out to our employees, equip them with those changes very fast. Otherwise, we lose the competitive advantage. So this is something which is very exciting. If it can reduce that TAT and dependency, it is going to help us a long way in making sure that we take things to our employees at the shortest possible time. The other thing, a lot of technology is coming in recruitment. Your skill fit. Lot of times my recruiter previously used to spend in screening profiles and all. Now I get a match. It is 88. We have a ATS which is integrated in the current HRMS we have moved into, which is making sure that we get a skill percentage fit. So if something is 12%, my recruiter will not even look at that profile. Right? If something is above 50% only, say, they will get into that profile. So that time reduces. So that is again something which is good. There are tools now for engagement also. So, 22,000 employees, you need to reach each employee, understand what is their mind space, where we can help them. If there is a chatbot which is helping you to understand and evaluate how engaged or not engaged they are, that helps. That reduces the time. Then my talent management team can focus on those targeted employees rather than, going and waiting for the entire year or half year to meet all employees physically or digitally. So that is again something which is exciting, which is helping us in making sure we work on this engagement thing much better. The other thing we are working on in reducing the time for a HRBP, a lot of our time goes in solving queries, and at times very basic queries. Statutory bonus was supposed to get credited. Why I have got this amount? So we have again inbuilt in our new HRMS, so we have something a chatbot, again we call it Genie. So you go to Genie, you train Genie, Genie will answer almost 80% of the questions. Again, that helps in reducing the work pressure, or the time required by each HRBP. They can do something more productive in engaging with people. So these are few things which are coming in, and we are trying to explore options to making full use of it, so that the efficiency of the team increases.
I want to touch base on something that we discussed a while back about attracting the talent and then retaining them. Now, let's say that you're catering to a market which is maybe more like a Mumbai or more like a Delhi or more like a Bangalore, a metro kind of a market. And then let's say you talk about tier 3 or tier 4 cities. Is there any difference in the approach that you would want to look at, especially from an HR perspective, when you're dealing with somebody from metro cities and when you're dealing with somebody from a tier 3 or a tier 4 city, so that you're able to be comfortable, you are able to empathize with both sets of employees?
Okay, so I think, Vivek, it depends on the business model, right?
Yeah.
My focus is more on tier 3, tier 4 cities, being a small finance bank wherein 75% of my lending happens at bottom of the pyramid, and our go-to market is T2, T3, T4 markets. And hiring or attracting talent is all about supply and demand. And it's a myth that a Bangalore market, while it is more competitive, people have opportunities, but so is Salem market today. So is Tirunelveli market today, or so is Hisar market today, because competitors, everybody wants a share of that pie. Everybody is moving towards these markets, and they are trying to attract the good talent. Now, Bangalore, while the competition is high, options are more. In Hisar, the number of people you get is less, right? Yeah. The qualified talent you get there is less, and then probably there my competition is about 15 banks or NBFCs. In Hisar, there are 7, but my talent pool is almost 1/10 of what I have in the other place. So we have those differentiated strategies, and what we do during our monthly review with the talent acquisition team, we try and understand where we are, where the regional HRs, the talent acquisition partners are facing problem in attracting right talent, specifically because of the compensation and all, and we make sure that we try and address that, not every time by throwing money, but trying and making sure that what are the things which can be done. One thing can be increasing the slab a bit, because for different market we have different slabs. So if Hisar is giving me a great result and I need differentiating talent there, I would be ready to probably pay somebody in Hisar as much as I am paying in some of the larger city, because that is more relevant market. Hisar is thing, because I was having some discussion about it from morning, I took that. It can be any other place.
Understood.
So that is where. So it is more about supply and demand, and it is about getting the right people. That is how we make sure that we differentiate. If Bangalore I need to pay more, I pay more at times to get the right talent. If it is not working out, then at times we go back to business also and try and look at how things are working out in terms of productivity and all, of whether that is more relevant. If I can, if we are fine to spend little more and it is giving me that kind of ROI. So basis that, it is from business perspective and supply and demand of human resources, basis which we take this call.
One of the philosophies that AntWalk always believes in is competencies over credentials. So I may not be from a tier 1 college, right? But if I have the competencies, then I should be able to do that job and I should be interested with that responsibility. So let's assume that Abhik, you are, let's say, a 23, 24-year-old graduate fresh out of college, not a formal degree in human resources. But could you tell me what those 3-4 skills you should have to get yourself into human resources or to align yourselves with the human resources function?
So you're talking about the competency required to excel in human resources across the path. So Vivek, 2 things. I'll first address the first part of your question, how important your B school or your qualification is. It is important during the initial phase phases of your career, because this will get you interviews, right?
Sure.
I mean, the first thing, if I need to look at hiring somebody, I mean, with 2-3 years of experience, I'll try and look at which campus and this thing. But I think after say 5 years, and for sure after 10 years, it is the credentials, how well you have done in your career. And for that,
Sure.
that degree takes a, well, it helps. I mean, that you have done your formal education, you have done your whatever engineering, I mean, MBA, HR and other things. But post that, it is about how well you have done in your career. And for that, it is important that you have that passion and you believe in evolving yourself as a professional. So if I talk about HR competencies, and this is something I keep talking about, something which has given me results. One, whatever business you are handling, you need to know the business at least as good as your business leader, if not better. Because that
Sure.
business is paying for your salary, for your bonuses, right? You need to know business. I mean, a lot of time HR professionals do not do that. They believe that I will talk about my HR frameworks. Business guys are not even interested if you are going to tell them without relating it to their business. You can't relate it to business if you know that business well. That is very, very important. The other thing is customer centricity. For a HR person, his customer is employees, right? I mean, I say one of the, and this is something I have learned from somebody I call as my mentor in HR. He always used to say that you are successful as a HR business partner if your employee, who's your customer, has some problem, and it can be any problem, and one of the top 3 names he's thinking about is you, right? Then you have done your bit. You have given him that comfort. Then that guy probably, if he's planning to move out of the organization also, he'll first call you and say that, look, I mean, things are not working out. I have a problem with my manager, or I don't think that I'm getting my career growth the way I want. And then you have that lead time to make sure you retain a good talent. So that customer centricity, I mean, I keep talking to a lot of my team members. At times we get irritated. Why so many calls? People don't understand. They keep calling for every small thing. I said, I don't know if you want to be a HR business partner, because if people are calling you, that means they are remembering you. And they have so many other people. They are business leaders. 4-5 lines, they are still calling you for things. Please be there, be available. So these are 2 things, and I am very, very passionate about it. I mean, if my MD calls, if my SO calls, my MD can call me at any point of time. If a sales officer calls, I know in my team there are 4 or 5 layers. They could have reached anybody. I will give that due importance to that person, because he would have thought about it 5 times before calling me, and I need to be there to give him a solution. Right? So this customer centricity is very important, and if you want to excel in HR, you need to be passionate about people, making that difference, giving that solution. 2 other competencies I talk about. I'm sorry, I'll take a minute more to talk about it, because again, this is something which is very close to my heart as a HR professional. 2 competencies, we don't even count that as a competency, but this is something I keep telling my team, and I'm glad that a lot of people have taken it, and I see them walking the talk, getting through it. One is connecting the dot. It is very important. I mean, why HR professional? Every professional, that you will look at different things, different informations will come to you. It is very important you connect the dot and look at the bigger picture. That is what will make sure you have a seat at the table. Your business head will respect you if you know what is happening in the industry and you are able to give him some insight. Something happening within your organization framework, nobody knows about the entire thing, but you have been able to connect those dots and having that intelligence or information, and you are using it in a proactive way. So that is again a competency each HR professional should look at. The other thing is storytelling. I mean, might sound at times you tell storytelling, if we talk in Hindi, कहानी सुना रहा है. A lot of people say HR कहानियां सुनाता है. So storytelling is a very important competency, and you should know how to tell that story. You need to probably tell the same story to your MD and to SO, and in a way that it makes sense to the MD, it makes sense to the SO. It's a very, very high level competency. And if you want to be successful in HR, you need to have this competency. So I think these are things which, I mean, I have worked on as a professional during my journey, and I am still a student of this. I keep reading, I keep asking myself question whether I am growing on this, whether I am trying to sharpen my saw or not timely. So these are, I mean, 3-4 things I think are very important. And as people move in their HR professional journey, these are the things which, I mean, kind of puts them in the right set.
Is there anything on the innovation front? Are there any innovative things that your small finance bank is doing to engage with employees differently and to make sure that they're given that feeling that they are a customer and customer is made to feel like king?
So I'll talk about something which is something the entire BFSI industry is grappling with. It is attrition at the junior level. I mean, people are moving for 500 rupees, 2000 rupees, and the kind of employees, I mean, especially in some of my businesses like microfinance, I have at times I'm not losing to another bank. I may lose somebody to a Swiggy or Zomato also because of the efforts you are putting in and the kind of money you are getting. So one question or one problem statement which is kind of which has been haunting us for last year and a half, especially post COVID, is how to arrest this attrition at the junior level, right? I mean, your feet on street, and these are your shoulder, the Havaldar you are talking about. These are the people who go to the market and get you the business. So what we have done, and we have done a lot of things. We were at our wits' end in most of our steering committee meetings, I mean, senior leadership reviews and all. What do we do? And at times, I mean, we are looking around. Most of the banks and NBFCs were facing it. The numbers were going through the roof. So what we have done, and to a large extent it has helped, what we figured out, for these people what is important is instant gratification. They need to see the results quickly. I cannot tell this person that, boss, wait, you have just joined after 1 year. I mean, you may get your default rating after 2 years. If you are rated well, you are doing well, we will think about your promotion. Or after 2 or 3 years, you get your promotion. And that is what we did was that for this level, we said 2 things. One, they need to see the money coming in quickly. So we said that they will get their salary. After that, their last month's incentive within next 15 days, we will give them the incentive. So they wait for another 15 days, get in their incentive. Again, within next 15 days, they get their salary again. So that cycle of 30 days also, we have brought it down to 15 days. Second thing, for instant gratification, we said you need not wait for 2-3 years, which is our normal promotion grid. At that level, what we'll do is we'll look at your 9 months performance, 6 to 9 months performance. If you have earned, and how would we evaluate? I mean, we are not going to evaluate your competency and other thing. You need that one growth increment in your, this thing will not even wait for the PMS cycle. What we will do is we will see within those 9 months, if you have earned between 6 to 9 months, if you have earned incentive month on month at a threshold level, say in the top 28th percentile of the incentive earners, we will give you 1 promotion and salary increment, right? So you run that. Okay, this 9 month you missed, your 3 months, so 9 months, so there is an overlap. So there is a cycle from April to December, there is a cycle from October to June, right? So if you have missed this December cycle also, no problem. Your October cycle has again started, right? So June, I mean, don't worry. Your PMS is coming. April, May, you will get your PMS. Otherwise, June, if you earn your incentives, you again have a chance of getting your promotion. So we have understood that this is something which is going to engage them. For that level, what matters is instant gratification. And this is the framework we have created. And so far, we have seen results. We have seen 2 9-month cycles happening, and we have seen, I mean, people are talking about it. Our attrition at the base level from last year to this year has significantly reduced.
I'm just trying to extrapolate on what you said. These things, of course, apply to today's workforce, but would you say that these are also applicable to all these young boys and girls, 21, 22-year-old folks joining the HR function? Would this also apply to them, or would you want to do anything beyond this to make sure that they stay with the organization longer because you've invested in their training and their learning?
So Vivek, I'll tell you something what I heard from some of the seniors again, whom I call as mentors, or from my B school, some of the senior professors. They told me something. I mean, in HR, we handle compensation, right? So when this 21, 22 years kids get into HR fraternity, they will look at people's salary. So one thing, as a HR professional, you need to look at people's salary as phone numbers. It should not impact you, right?
Yeah.
You need to understand you will get into a strategic role after some time. Initially, you are part of the enablement function or support function, right? And somebody else from my B school, there are people who join HDFC Bank, right? A campus. I joined in Indian Bank, and then I moved to HDFC Bank after a year and a half. But they were my batchmates who joined HDFC Bank from campus, and they were doing much better. I mean, in terms of, and since I was their HR business partner, I had all their details and all. I mean, I could have looked at that and with a jaded saying, I mean, oh my God, I mean, probably I was a 8.5 or 9 pointer, and probably these guys, why are they there? It will, HR, you first need to get yourself invested. You need to make yourself as a material. You'll have to understand there would still be 500 of those people and one HR, right? Your value will come. But for that, you need to be initially patient, create your value, and it is about that race. Now, I mean, after 16, 17 years, I don't have any regret. I look back, I mean, things have been good, because if you can create that value, market will acknowledge that and make sure that you are rewarded as per that. And then it will take I don't know how many of my batchmates from there would have a regular discussion with the MD or the management committee. But because of the niche role I have been in, I have been fortunate enough to do that in terms of everything. So it is very important for a HR professional to think they should not get swayed away by what other people in a marketing or a finance department, people who have got into the job, how much they are getting. It should not bother them. In HR, first 3, 4, 5 years, you need to be invested. You need to have your passion of making the difference. You need to have your passion of growing, creating your mark, and then HR will pay you back, and pay you back to an extent that you will not even imagine. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if 10 years back, I would have imagined where I am today. And God has been kind. I've got my opportunities. I've been able to utilize that, give my best, and things pay off in the longer run. But that initial patience is important.
Do you see a scenario where the CHRO of a company goes on to also become a CEO? And let me just explain why do I ask that question. We generally see the CFOs or the CMOs taking over the executive group, right? There are, of course, CHROs also who've gone on to become CEOs. But do you see that as an industry trend happening in the next few years, given the fact that people are at the center of everything that a business does? So any insights on that?
Okay, so I think in people-centric businesses, CHROs can become CEOs, and that is something you will see more of it, because now everybody is acknowledging the role of HR as a strategic business partner. Previously, we had to assert that. Now people talk about it happening. But again, my question is, if you ask me, HR is my passion, right? I don't know if I want to become a CEO and focus more on marketing, while I will like to help the CEO in focusing, getting the right talent. So it is about that will also. If you ask me, I mean, at some point of time, I mean, would I look at a CEO role? If I think I have done everything what I can do as a CHRO, probably then yes. Otherwise, if my passion is HR and people, I would not like to, because as a CEO, 70-80% of your focus needs to be on business development. Yeah, people development is part of it. So it is about that choice. But yes, I mean, I know of CHROs who are very, very passionate about being the CEOs and all. I mean, in fact, I have been given options by my business leaders to handle business functions, and I have done that in interim, because I think they have had that confidence that I understand business and I understand people, so I can run it as a extra opportunity. I can do that. But yes, CHROs who want to become CEO, and if they are good CHROs, they will make brilliant CEOs, because they will understand marketing also, they will understand finance also, they will understand where the organization needs to go, because mission vision statement also CHRO at times owns that along with CEO. So I think yes, but I know of a lot of CHROs, and in my current role, or where I see myself, as I think I will like to contribute a lot more to HR, and there is so much of things to do rather than focusing on marketing.
Five bullet pointed skills that you think young graduates need to have, young graduates who are looking forward to make a mark in the field of HR, that they need to have. Five skills, if you could tell us.
Okay. First is passion for HR, solution orientation, quest for understanding business and doing it, understanding business better than the business guys. Customer centricity, having that feeling that they want to do something for the people they are handling. And fifth and most important is empathy for people.
Five people skills that you think CEOs in 2023 need to have, especially from an HR perspective.
I don't know I'm qualified to answer that or not, but I think business focus, the upcoming trends in the market, because if you are not relevant, you are not there, you will get redundant. Understanding your people and people dynamics, that is very important. Creating a robust organization for future, having entire framework of organization which will outlast you, right? Not now, creating an organization for future, having that vision. And customer centricity goes without saying. You are there because of your customers.